So I was having lunch today and I had this epiphany. I was thinking about it, right? I've made a lot of decisions in my life every single day. Like I make decisions, you make decisions too. And I was kind of deciding in my head that I have like this big decision coming up, whether or not I should move to a certain place, stay in my current place or not. And moving places, it's not the easiest decision, especially financially. And I'm out here in Miami, Florida, so definitely financially it's not feasible. And I'm thinking about it. Every decision that I've made up to this point in my life, it's always been the one that I didn't want to do. It's always been the uncomfortable one. And I really thought about it because I was eating my lunch, and I even thought about like the decision to eat the lunch that I did, which was just rice, steak, and vegetables, like a Chipotle bowl. But even that, I didn't want to eat it. I think about it too, like because malnutrition played such a heavy influence on my life. I was very, very misinformed as a kid, and I want to go deep on this real quick because I think being misinformed is such a how do I say this? It sucks. It really sucks because you don't know better. You self-sabotage yourself without even realizing it, and I think that is the worst possible thing that can happen. And it sucks because you don't know better. You simply do not know better. And I'll put it like this because I didn't know better whether or not I should eat processed food all the time as a kid. And school lunches I always had were very processed meals. Like the most natural ingredient that I had in the lunches that I used to eat were a turkey sandwich where it was just sliced deli. And even that is processed. Even that has like a million ingredients in it. And I simply just did not know better. I didn't know that I could eat clean ingredients. And that was the reason why I felt like I had brain fog all the time. That was the reason why I had depressive thoughts as a kid. It wasn't because I had a bad childhood. It wasn't because I was going through a emo phase, which is what I told myself at the time, where I kind of just singled myself out of all my friends. I sat to myself. I was just seeking attention in a way. And I thought that I was going through some shit, but I wasn't. It was because what I was putting into my body directly affected how I functioned, how I flowed mentally. And I just was too misinformed at the time to even realize that consciously. And I think that's such a big thing about malnutrition, is even being aware that you are malnourished, because everyone deals with malnutrition symptoms on a daily basis. There was a study saying that 1 in 3 people worldwide deal with malnutrition symptoms on a daily basis. And malnutrition doesn't mean that you are a starving kid in Africa. I think that's everyone's assumption when I say that I was malnourished as a kid. I wasn't skinny, I wasn't pale, but I simply just didn't get the right nutrients that my body needed to actually flow properly on a mental and physiological level. And it just affected me in so many ways that I couldn't even understand back then. And I didn't even understand that I was doing it to myself because I was so misinformed. And not just that, but as I continue to self-educate myself and realize how powerful nutrition is, I just lacked the self-control to really discipline myself within eating a clean diet. I was definitely misinformed, but even when I started to realize that I probably shouldn't be eating a box of pasta every single night because it has no real nutrients in it, especially the pasta that I was eating, because it was just not loaded, but really deprived out of all of the essential nutrients my body needed. And I had no self-control towards it. I just felt like I was tied down by the food that I was a slave to. I felt like I had no direction, no flexibility within my diet, and it just kept me like tied down. It kept me tied down, and I feel like I can never really hit my full potential. I feel like I can never be myself compared to how I feel right now. And I'm gonna tell you this too, it's the juxtaposition between how I feel right now and how I felt before that I really understand that nourishment is the best feeling in the world. Nourishment is the best feeling in the world, because I'm telling you right now, like, it feels like I can do anything on a daily basis. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. I'm sorry if the camera's shaking and shit, but I'm literally just holding up my tripod because I don't know how good the camera angle is gonna be. But I wake up at 4:30 a.m. I am marathon training right now, which every single week, if you don't know, like the mileage continues to ramp up. I have an 18-mile long run in 2 days. So my body is taking on so much stress, so much pressure on it, but I'm able to handle it mentally and physically because I nourish my body, because I eat I eat the food that is congruent towards the goals that I have set for myself. And I can work all day. You know, I work a job here in Miami. That's why I'm able to live down here. But I'm able to work all day without really feeling fatigued. Before this, before when I was malnourished, like I used to deal with these energy crashes where I just felt like I was disabled in the middle of the day. Like I just had no motivation to do anything. I never could pull myself to go to the gym. Every single morning now when I'm nourished, like I have infinite energy, bro. Like I can go to the gym early in the morning. I feel great. Rest of my day, like I'm just making money, focusing on myself, putting my time back into the business. Like it's just continuous progress towards the man that I want to be. And I truly believe with all my heart that it wouldn't be possible if I didn't nourish myself. Apologize. I had a job where I rescued a dog from a trapped car. Side quest I had to get to, but I'm back in my car, different location. I have yachts sitting behind me. Welcome to Miami, bro. But I was thinking about redoing the video, but then I was like, that first bit was, I really felt like I got what I wanted to get off my chest out in that first clip. But I just wanted to pick up the video again because I wanted to talk about the mindset of what it takes to be nourished, bro. Because honestly, like something that's been ringing in my head recently, Charlie Kirk, he is sadly, like it took his death to really, for him to have such a profound influence on me. But it's a beautiful thing because even though that he's not on this earth anymore, and if you don't know who Charlie Kirk is, look him up. He's a very influential guy, but he got assassinated a couple weeks ago in September. And sadly, it took his assassination for me to really get influenced on him. But with deaths, like it really, for him specifically, it really stamps his impact and prolongs his impact on this earth, which is beautiful to see. And I think the motives of that assassinator really, all of the motive behind it kind of got flawed once his impact just got strengthened after his death and his message got even louder. But one of the things that he's been saying, one of the things that he said that really stuck with me was that if it feels good in the moment, if it feels good right now as soon as you do it, it's probably not good for you. He was talking about porn, he was talking about like alcohol, drugs, addictions, right? Same thing applies for food. If it probably feels good for you in the moment, in the right now, it's probably not good for you. Think about that. Because if you're eating fast food constantly and it feels good in the moment, I don't know about you, but like I could eat a Chick-fil-A meal and I'd be hungry like even an hour after. And that's because the food doesn't have the nutrients that your body needs to really feel full. It's not satiating. And I think that feeling is so dissatisfying. Like I can feel good in the moment, but I just solidified that feeling in my head that it's gonna feel good right now, yes. But a couple hours later, like I'm gonna feel like shit. I'm still gonna feel hungry. All that money that I just spent, that $15, $20 I just spent on that meal is gonna go down the drain. I just don't like that. And I solidified that feeling in my head. I made it so conscious to the point where I don't even feel attracted towards fast food anymore. The idea of eating a clean meal is just so attractive to me because I know how I feel post-meal, a couple hours after, a day after. Like I just went to Italy a week ago, right? And in my time there, the food was amazing, absolutely amazing. The freshest ingredients, the freshest food, everything organic. It was beautiful, right? But I still ate, I was in Italy, bro. Like I was at a wedding where we had the servers there that would fill up our wine glasses as much as we want. I'm not much of a drink. In fact, I haven't drank in over a year, but of course, while I'm in Italy, I wouldn't miss on experiencing Italian wine. But even then, like even a couple days after, I'm back home in Miami now, and I still feel the effects of what I ate last week. My body is still inflamed from what I put in it last week. So because I'm consciously aware of the effects that food has on my body and my mental health, Even now, like I'm stuttering a little bit because I don't have the mental clarity, the cognitive function that I used to when, you know, I was eating strictly clean. And luckily I'm getting back on that diet right now. But I cemented that feeling. The point is that I cemented that feeling of the delayed gratification of eating the thing that I know I should. And also, if I give into the things that I know I shouldn't, I know how it will feel after. I know how it will feel if I eat a shitty meal and then I feel like lethargic after. I don't have any energy. I feel like I have brain fog. I gain a couple pounds. I feel bloated all the time. All of these things that stem from that instant gratification hit that you have, like, it's just not worth it to me. And I think it's the fact that you don't bring it to your consciousness that, and like for me at least, I used to give into those options because I just wasn't aware. I wasn't informed of what the other side of the coin was. And that brings me back to the epiphany that I had today, that the uncomfortable choice that you need to make is always going to be the right one. My mentor used to tell me all the time, like I used to come with to him with questions, right? I used to like ask, like, should I do X, should I do Y? And then he said, which one do you know you should be doing, but you really don't want to do it? The one that you would feel most uncomfortable if you did it. That's the one that you want to do. So apply that mindset to anything you do in your life. If you don't feel like waking up at 5 a.m., at 4:30 a.m. like I do, not saying, not in a gloating perspective, but like just for example, because I used to be in that position too. Like I didn't want to wake up early because I was comfortable with the fact that I could sleep in until 8, 9 a.m. if I had nothing going on. But if that feels uncomfortable to you, pick that decision. That's what you should be doing. That's an indicator. The fact that your brain is telling you that you don't want to do it, that's an indicator that you should be doing it. Because you know what that does for you? It's a reassurance that you are breaking the bad habits that you used to have, and you are forming into a new man. You're choosing with each decision that is a vote towards who you want to be. You can either choose to wake up early and focus on yourself, go to the gym, etc., or you can vote to choose a man that you don't want to be, where you sleep in, you wake up when you want to, you don't do it, you don't have a solidified morning routine when you wake up in the morning. Each decision you make is a vote towards the man that you want to be, and it just compounds over time. And the smallest things, they just compound, bro. Like I'm telling you, I've been waking up at before 5 a.m. for over a year and a half at this point. And it's not like as soon as I started doing that, it's not like 3 months into waking up at 4:15, at 4:30 a.m. that I just started making money. I just started progressing through my life. But it's just the continuous action, the continuous decision that I put myself to in an uncomfortable state that allows me to transmute that feeling into anything else in my day. And I'll give you another example, right? With my morning routine, I used to do a cold shower every single morning. Cold shower for like, I think it was, I was doing it for 3 minutes every single morning because it was the most uncomfortable thing that I could possibly do to myself. Who wants to get up after being in bed and just go in a cold shower, bro? No one. Absolutely no one wants to do that. And that's exactly why I did that to myself. It's because I knew that I was too comfortable, and I know that I cannot grow in a comfortable state, because growth doesn't happen when you're comfortable, bro. It just doesn't happen. And if you want to be that nourishment state, if you want to feel like you have all of the benefits of nourishment, you cannot be comfortable while you're doing it. And the last thing that I want to leave you with is kind of like a paradigm shift that I adapted quite a while back. And that's the fact that you need to stop treating food as something you just mindlessly eat, something that you just eat for pleasure, because that was the biggest misconception that I had. I thought that food was constantly supposed to be just pleasure. If I wanted cereal in the morning, I would eat a bagel, I would eat cereal, right? And that was the pleasurable thing that I needed to do. Not needed to, but I wanted to do. And that's another point, right? Every decision I make, it's not a matter of wanting to do it. I need to do it. I need to eat clean because I know that's how I will reach the goals that I have set for myself. And I'm not saying you gotta be a fucking robot when you eat, but at least like you have to treat meals as just meals. It's not breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That was the biggest piece of advice my coach gave me. It's not breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's literally just meal 1, 2, and 3. Meal 1, 2, and 3. If you're gonna eat steak for breakfast, I used to do that every single day. And when I was living with my parents, like, they thought I was crazy. They started making fun of me for eating steak in the mornings. But I just treated every single meal as just a meal. It's not breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I treated it as something that I wanted to be congruent towards the goals that I have. So if I wasn't training that day, I would limit my carbs as much as possible. If I was in a ton of meetings that day, if I was filming a ton of content that day, then I would just load up on proteins and fats, because I know I function highly cognitively if I have as little as carbs in my system as possible, because carbs kind of spike your blood sugar, and it sends you into like a mental coma in a way, depending on what kind of carbs you eat. But it's just the decisions and the choices that I made that align with who I want to be. And the fact that I was informed, the fact that you are informed now, that you know that if you give into the wrong decision, that is your own doing, and that is you self-sabotaging yourself, then why do it? Why do it? Every single time that you feel like you want to give into that bad option, bring it to consciousness right now. Bring it to consciousness every single time, and you will be reassured by the fact that you don't want to feel like the way after you eat that meal, after you give into a junk food meal. If you remind yourself of how you felt after, you remind yourself of every single thing. I'm talking about the bloating that you feel. Like for me, when I was eating shitty meals, like I would get stomach aches at night. I would feel, very, very low energy in the morning. I'd feel lethargic all day, just slow energy, like I'm a sloth. And I emphasize the feelings every time I get them, because I remind myself of what to choose next time. I remind myself of the consequences that I gave myself for feeling good in the moment. But I riffed off into a couple of different subjects, but I just want to get that off my chest. I hope that helps some of you. If you want to learn how we can implement systems into your life to make nourishment literally so feasible for you and take the guesswork out of everything, I have my book a call link in the description of this video. Hop on a call with me and let's talk out your situation, see what I can do for you. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to join me, if this is your first time seeing me, my name is Ferris Avenio, and I post content like this. But other than that, I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you later. Peace.